these videos, I actually get very excited, but then sometimes I'm a little sad depending on what the product is. And today, I'm probably on a little bit more of a sad spectrum because this is a product that, I was like, yes, she's coming out with something new. It's beautiful. And then I look at the shade names and I'm like, oh, I already own this. But I like doing these videos because it's very helpful. This is not a bash at the brand, but I find when I do these videos, because I have a lot of Pat McGrath in my collection, that people are able to make an educated choice. And I am talking about the Midnight Voyage 6-pan palette that Pat McGrath is about to release on June 11th. So this is basically for information purposes, if you're looking at this quad and you're trying to figure out if she should buy it because you don't have these products in your collection, or hey, you saw something new and shiny by Pat McGrath and you're like, yes, I'm gonna buy it. And I'm like, wait, if you have a massive mothership collection, you probably don't need it. So let's go ahead and jump on in. Hey guys, this is Ashley. Welcome on back to my channel. So, like I just mentioned, we're doing a watch before you buy, meaning I am breaking down this 6-pan palette that Pat McGrath is about to release, which is called Midnight Voyage. So when I saw it, I was like, oh, this is cute. This is real cute. And then I saw the names and I was like, they're all repeat shades. Except for one shade, but that doesn't matter. They're all repeat shades. And like I mentioned before, if you have many of the motherships, if you have all of the big mothership palettes, if you have 3 of these particular mothership palettes I'm going to show you, you have this 6-pan palette. But before I get carried away, let me go ahead and introduce myself. If you are new to this channel, welcome. And if you're oldie but goodie, welcome on back. My name is Ashley. I have a doctorate in pharmacy and I love makeup. So that's how you get Dr. Ash and her makeup, and eyeshadow really is my jam, but please just call me Ash or Ashley. And I love Pat McGrath. Pat McGrath, hands down, is one of my favorite brands. So when I saw this, I was like, yes, it's cute. The little outside tint is cute. The price is right. And I was like, oh, I already have these shades. I already have them. So the product that I'm talking about, I'm just going to like scooch over so we could put a little photo, and I'm looking at my notes, and I'm actually getting most of this information off of Trend Mood 1 Instagram account. So I will link that down below in the description. But it's a mini eyeshadow palette, and it's called Midnight Voyage. And it's a limited edition palette. It's a mini palette, stars 5 of her most loved eyeshadows, complemented by a debut metallic Bronze Venus. So Bronze Venus is the one shade that is new, but we know Pat. If you have a Pat collection, you know she loves some bronze, you know she loves some gold, so you got a dupe. I got a dupe on my eye. I'll show you in a second, okay? So, like I said, there are 5 repeat shades. This retails for $29, and it's actually going to be available on June 11th at Sephora, which I thought was a little different because that is a Saturday. But I was like, okay, that works. Yeah, it is a Saturday. So, and the price point is real cute. A lot of times I like to approach these as this is something for a person who doesn't have a lot of Pat McGrath in their collection, can't afford to purchase a palette at $129, $25 at this point, or $65. And they can try something that's going to be quality and get a nice collection of her shadows. And I think that that is great because as much as like Pat McGrath is luxury, I do think that anybody who wants to try them should be able to try it. So immediately I thought that the packaging was great because it's a compact. It looks like it's to be hard plastic. It's kind of giving along the realms of her blush packaging to somewhat, but probably a little bit more solid. Before she had the Ecstasy Kits, and they had the really white, cheap looking packaging, and it just didn't give luxury. It didn't give Pat McGrath, although you're going to get some really nice eyeshadows. So I just checked the Sephora website, and they do have the product information up a little bit sooner. So I'm able to see that for the 6-pan, you're going to actually get 0.10 ounces of product, or you're going to get looks like a whole pan, with a whole compact is going to be 3 grams, okay? And that it is also, this is going to be a limited edition product. That's what it's being marketed as. But sometimes the limited edition products with Pat McGrath can hang around a little bit longer. And she is marketing this as a compact size and user-friendly layout. It's major must-have for the creating legendary looks at home and on the go, okay? So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to swatch the shades that are in this particular little 6 pan that we have, and because they're all repeating except for the one shade. And I'm also going to show you this eye look right here, which I feel like would be great because, you know, you can get some inspiration. You could go ahead and pull out the palettes you have, or if you decide to pick up the 6 pan, you'll have a look to refer to. And then I do want to talk about the blush release that Pat McGrath is going to have on the 17th. Those are some more limited edition duo blushes, and she's coming out with some more highlighters. And for what I noticed, that it looks like one highlighter is already something that's a part of the collection. So let's jump on into these swatches real quick. So we're going to start off with the swatches. The swatches are actually going to be in the order as how they are in the picture that is laid out here. And I'm also going to show you what palettes they come from. I thought I had, my shirt could go down a little bit longer, but it's just 6 shades, so we'll be all right. I'm just going to swatch them right here for you. So the first shade that is coming up is going to be called Skin Show Divine Glow. So this is typically a shade that Pat McGrath has in her mothership palettes. You know, she has some type of brow bone, inner corner highlight, iridescent type of situation. So this is the exact shade. This is Skin Show Divine Glow, and this is Mothership 5. So this is the packaging for Mothership 5. Just so you know, because sometimes people can relate it better with the actual packaging. And this is Bronze Seduction. This is like a fan favorite, basically. One of my favorite palettes. And so we have Skin Show Divine here. And I've actually worn this shade all over the lid, and it's been very pretty. Very, very pretty. So we have Skin Show Divine Glow. Here, as you can see, very smooth. The next shade that is advertised in the 6 pan for Midnight Voyage would be right here, which is called Xtreme Aubergine. So here, Xtreme Aubergine, a beautiful deepened eggplant palette. This is also the first time we didn't see a black in a Mothership palette. And what's nice about these shades, okay, that's swatched horribly, but it's actually a really great shade. Let's try that again. There we go. I think I have a little oil on my hand, or it's like, or am I? All right, y'all. Let's get this going. Okay. Well, okay. I'm not having much success. There we go. It's looking better. There we go. I think I have some residue on my finger that I can't quite get off. Okay. So that is Xtreme Aubergine. Next up is actually still from the same palette. So we have Entrapment right here. This is Entrapment. It's like a more mid-tone brown, but this brown can go pretty deep, right? It's right in here. So, you know, you got to kind of be careful. You build up. You start and then you build up sometimes when it comes to Pat McGrath's mattes. Let's try a different finger, because that finger just has too much oil on it. I'm not sure what's happening there. So that is Entrapment. And all of these shades are very smooth, and they still work very well. I got this palette when it first came out, so I want to say this palette came out 2018. Yes, that is correct, 2018. This is when it came out. Now next we're going to be jumping into Mothership 8. I have it in the limited edition Rose Gold. And we're going to jump in with Eleganza. Eleganza is a gorgeous, gorgeous shade. And I actually just wore this palette the other day to work. Like yesterday, actually, come to think of it. So we have Eleganza. A really beautiful shimmer. It packs on well with a brush. You don't have to do too much work. It's very shiny, very opulent. It's giving like kind of shimmer vibes of if you have the Decadence palette, but it's very smooth. Just a very, very great, what is it, satin shimmer type of thing, but a lot of shine, a lot of shine. So that is Eleganza. Okay, so next up we have the shade Bronze Venus. And Bronze Venus excuse me, is not actually an eyeshadow, but I did search in her collection because I was like, the name sounds familiar. So Bronze Venus is actually a lust gloss, you know, like one of her lip glosses. And that has not been the first time, or this has not been the first time she has named an eyeshadow after one of her lip glosses, because, you know, we have Divine Rose. So of course we have, like, you know, the whole spinoff. We have the Mothership 7, Mothership 8, Divine Rose, that's named after a lust gloss. We have Bronze Temptation. We know we've had that. What's also, oh my gosh, the most famous one that is not the most famous, but probably Lavadaring. Beautiful lust gloss. And or Opulus gloss is a little bit more glittery. And of course we have a special shade that was in what is it, the one of the pink, it was a quad from the Christmas time. So whew, it's been so much. So you know, that has so it's not, like I said, it's not the first time she's named an eyeshadow after an existing lip gloss shade. So don't have a shade like that, but what I did go ahead and use, which looks pretty much like a great dupe, especially if you already have this palette, was I just went in with this bronze shade right here. So here we go. Now this one, I don't really enjoy the texture of this one so much, so that might be why she gave a new one. A lot of people don't really like the texture of this particular shade. This particular shade is, the real name of it would be Bronze Blaze, okay? It's pretty, but it's just not the greatest, okay? So we have Bronze Blaze. And definitely if you wear this shade, if you have Mothership 5, you definitely need like some little mixing medium or a spray it or something, or a glitter glue to make it look great. I just opted to put it right here down on the bottom lash line. And the last shade, which is a fabulous shade, and one of the, like, a lot of people love this shade, and for good reason, and it comes from Mothership 3. So Mothership 3 is actually this one, which is Subversive. This is one of the first 3 Motherships that were released at the same time. And I did earlier forget to show the packaging for Divine Rose 2. This is Mothership 8 for the shade we had, Eleganza. So we have Night Creature right here, this beautiful purple shimmer shade. Now this one has quite a bit of texture to it, and I do feel that this one, from my experience, it just applies better with your finger, you know? So we got Night Creature. So that is our color story. And this color story is actually really beautiful. It makes a lot of sense. Something I've had in my collection and had never thought to use together. Or maybe I've used it together and maybe like a Mothership Mega or something and not quite realized. But, you know, just comparing these shades, I'm like, I've never thought about that. Or just, I mean, obviously, once I put it on my arm, it's a very much obvious color story. But, you know, something to just kind of make you reach in and you use these shadows more. So before we jump into the demo real quick, I did want to talk about one of the highlighters that are being released. So if you've been paying attention, Pat McGrath is also coming out with highlighters. Her birthday is coming up, so maybe she's just like, I got to drop some new releases. So in this particular collection, we actually have about 6 blushes, and it looks like she's coming out with 4 actual highlights. So the highlighters are actually in this particular format, which I do really like the formula of this, and I'm wearing it now, which would be the Golden Nectar highlighter. This is what I have, and it's like about 4.6 grams. The highlighter actually is going to retail for $48, which is on par with this one. And this one, this formula is very smooth. It doesn't have a lot of texture. It's not like the Baked Gelée formula that the Divine Rose highlighter has. So this is the Divine Rose highlighter. This is, yeah, it's actually called Divine Rose. It's an Ultra Glow highlighter, but this one is more of a baked formula, or more Baked Gelée. This one right here, it's let's see. It has the combines the skin-loving botanical oils with multi-tone micro pearls for a smooth, ultra-reflective finish and silken feel. And I feel like that's very true. And you get a lot of shine with these highlighters. So you can layer them up to be like beaming from the sky or not, you know? So I really actually prefer this formula highlighters. I'm going to be gentle with mine because my Golden Nectar has you know, it's been through a lot, but this is the highlighter that the formula is basically close to. But the shade that I wanted to draw your attention to, if you were thinking about it, was the Venus Nectar shade, which is a warm golden peach, which actually is really, really pretty. But if you have the Bridgerton collection, and I'll pop it there, that blush duo with the highlighter, remember that Venus Nectar is actually in this particular trio. And so remember, there was, when the Bridgerton released, we're like, oh man, there's a highlighter that wasn't available, that single without the website. So now it is available as a single highlighter. So you know, that's something to really think about if you're purchasing the highlighter. If you have the Bridgerton collection, which I actually, you know, those little highlighter duos were actually a pretty good value, considering that, you know, you could get a couple blushes and a highlighter for like around $40 versus buying one blush for that amount of money. And then it also did kind of come out with the same, I want to say it was the same thing with the Pat McGrath, the Celestial Odyssey collection. So at the same time. So just wanted to point that out. So let's go ahead, jump in with this tutorial because this eye look is looking cute, and I'll wrap up with some final thoughts on the other end. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. I got my eyebrows filled in, although this one's really questionable. I'm gonna fix it though. And that's with the Goof Proof pencil, shade 3.75. That's what I always use. Went in with my favorite eyeshadow primer. You guys can guess. Urban Decay Primer Potion in the shade Caffeine. Let's go ahead and get started with our little cute 6-pan. I'm going to show you a look that you can basically achieve with the stuff you more than likely already have, or, you know, maybe you don't have it and you're going to buy the quad. Let's get started. Alright, I am back and this is the final eye look and I hope you guys love it. So for the eye look on the bottom lash line, I just decided to go in with a little bit more of the Xtreme Aubergine, and I put it very so lightly on the bottom line because I always feel like too much shadow on the bottom. That's why I really don't do it. It kind of closes my eyes off. So I have a lot of space up here, but between the actual opening my eye, you know, it can make it look very little. So Extreme Aubergine, ever so slightly right there. Then I wanted to incorporate the bronze shade, but because we don't have the same bronze shade, I went in with Bronze Blaze, which I feel like I said, pretty much the same dupe. After doing that, I popped in with my itsy bitsy tiny Extreme Black eyeliner that has been holding on forever. Still feeling great and creamy. I think that these are a great value for the money. Then for foundation, I'm actually wearing this. I've been wearing this all day. It's 10:04 right now. Oh Lord, 10:04 p.m. I applied this at like 7 a.m. So this is the Blurry Balm Powder by Danessa Myricks in the shade 7. As you can see, I've been loving it, okay? And I went in with my bronzer by Mented Cosmetics, which is the shade Vacay. Here she is. And I went in with the Golden Nectar highlighter that I talked to you about earlier. Like I said, I hold it like this because she's been through a lot. And for my lip combo, I decided to go ahead and take the shade Control by Colourpop. Just a nice warm brown, but not too deep. And I decided to pair it with this particular Opulence Gloss by McGrath. And this is in the shade Divine Rose. So yeah. There we go. And this is just like a little mini version of it. So those are my face details. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope you think it's informative. Like I said, I'm not bashing the brand, but I think you need to be educated as a consumer because a lot of times we just see things, we're like, ooh, it's shiny, it's pretty, it's looking cute. She's my favorite brand. And then I don't want you to buy it and then realize like, wait, I have all of these same shades because, you know, I just happen to know Pat McGrath. I know her, but I don't know her. You know what I mean? Like, so I can't tell you every shade name, and nor do I remember every shade name. But when I see certain shade names, I'm like, like I know that's got to be existing. So I wanted to pass the information along, and so you can make an educated purchase. Now, I do think that this is a fabulous purchase for somebody who does not have Pat McGrath, who does not want to pay $129, and you want to try quality eyeshadows because it has been known, even with the Eye Ecstasy kits at the smaller price points, even when the packaging was a little janky, that you are getting quality eyeshadows. Everybody has said that the shadows have been quality. So I do think that you can pick it up. I think the packaging is such a step up. I like how it looks. It looks sleek. It's giving luxury, but not at the luxury. It's not giving the full experience of Pat McGrath, but you're still getting an experience, which is great. Because that white packaging with those little ecstasy shades in it, it was not giving. It was giving cheap, okay? That white plastic, it was giving cheap. Okay, this is giving cute. Okay, like you would be happy to lay this on your vanity. You would be happy to pull this out of your travel bag, you know, for traveling for certain occasions, because obviously you could pop it in your bag really great. Now I travel a lot, but honestly I would not purchase this for travel purposes. I have too many other eyeshadows, too many other little quads by Pat McGrath. I mean, I don't even have any problem with taking like a 6-pan along, you know. So like I said, I think that this is really for the consumer. Like if you do not have these shades, if you don't have these 3 particular eyeshadows, shades, or eyeshadow mothership, that's what I'm really trying to say, then yes, this is a fabulous purchase. This is a fabulous purchase for the woman who is getting into Pat McGrath and wants to, because you're going to get quality. But if you are a Pat McGrath stan, a fan like me, and you bought every mothership by hook or crook, this ain't for us, okay? It's just not for us. But what is for us is to take the inspiration of this particular color story and use your shadows. Because I was like, I mean, the story makes so much sense, but I just hadn't tried it together. And now I have it. I'm like, this is beautiful. So yeah. So that's all I have to say. So leave me a comment down below. What do you plan to do? Did you enjoy this video? Give this video a big old thumbs up. Hit the notification bell so you know when I come out with another video, which will be very soon. I'm saying very soon, but I know I have not been uploading as much as I want to. And y'all, It's just because, like, at the very end of April, I started a new store and I just have a lot to do at that new location. Plus, I've been traveling, so that's been eating up some of the other free time that I have. And it's been great because I've been working so hard these past 2 years with the pandemic and just being a retail pharmacist. And I just need to, I have all these obligations that kind of, you know, people were trying to do stuff in 2020, 21, and now it's just been pushed back to 22. But it's great, and it's giving me a chance to reconnect with my friends and stuff like that. But don't worry, I still love makeup. I'm still loving YouTube, so I'll be on it more frequently. That's all I'm trying to say. So with all of that being said, you already know how we end the videos around here. We gotta hit it with the Chad dance. Chad dance. Hey, 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 Chad dance. Check this. Check this. Check. Hey. All right, y'all. Bye.